The Economic Community of West African States, Ecowas, which was created by the Lagos Treaty in 1975, is made up of 15 member states. Among its objectives is the creation of a single community market and a customs union. Inter-regional trade in West Africa is one of the lowest in the world, currently placed at 12% of total trade. This is due to several challenges, such as lack of adequate infrastructure, poorly implemented trade policies, and corruption, amongst others.
At the moment, as it stands, regional trade levels are very, very low in this region, particularly compared to the rest of the world.
Nigeria's trade with Ghana or with Cote d'Ivoire or with Niger is as low as 15–20%. This is what we mean by very low intra-regional trade. It's still very low.
You also find that there is a lot of, would I call it protectionism, in terms of the willingness to actually integrate. So the trade integration, even cultural integration, is not yet at the level one would want to see it.
In its current goals, Ecowas seeks to improve the levels of intra-regional and external trade. Trade facilitation will play a major role in achieving this goal. Trade facilitation has emerged as a key factor for international trade efficiency and the economic development of countries. The primary goal of trade facilitation is to help make trade across borders faster, cheaper and more predictable while ensuring its safety and security.
Un des grands problèmes qu'on avait dans la sous-région, c'était le problème de circulation des marchandises et des personnes.
Try moving a container from Lagos heading to Abidjan, for instance, by road, okay? You don't even want to go there. The bad road, the multiple checkpoints you meet, the delays you have at the border.
The Trade Facilitation Agreement is based on 4 pillars: transparency, simplification, harmonization, and standardization. Implementing the agreement will lower trade costs for businesses through reducing the processing time for trading transactions, the number of documents required, and improving transparency in customs procedures. At the level of the Ecowas region, there are currently 2 instruments that contribute to the facilitation of trade in the region. These are the Ecowas Trade Liberalization Scheme and the Ecowas Common External Tariff.
It's a program designed by the Ecowas Commission to enable people to move freely, and traders in particularly to move with their goods without tariff, without payment of duties, and without quotas.
It will change the volume of trade. It will help them to sell more products across the borders. And it will also help them to establish value chains within the region. So they are less dependent from the world market. They can focus more on the regional market.
Le tarif assureur commun de la CEDEAO, c'est une nomenclature de 5899 lignes tarifaires.
Les États, et chacun allait dans le sens, il y en a qui interdisaient les riz, d'autres mettaient des taux exorbitants, d'autres des taux moindres, ainsi de suite. Donc c'était disparate. Donc le passage d'avoir des tarifs unifiés, uniques, était quand même un passage obligé, d'où les travaux qui ont été intensifiés ces dernières années qui ont permis d'adopter un tarif extérieur commun de la CEDEAO qui est entré en application et cette année, le 1er janvier 2015.
On va harmoniser autant que faire se peut, selon les avantages comparatifs et faire en sorte qu'on puisse commercer entre nous et qu'on puisse faire face avec les mêmes forces donc, au marché concurrentiel international.
There is still a lot to be done by the Ecowas Commission and the member states to improve trade environment in the region, which will result in benefits for the regional business and the Ecowas citizens.
If these tools are better enhanced and if they're implemented properly, then the end user, who's the consumer, is able to pay good prices for their goods. And that's a benefit to me as an ordinary Ecowas citizen.
In 2014, Promoting Trade Integration in West Africa, project co-financed by the EU, the Ecowas Commission and the German government was launched. The project is implemented by the GIZ. Its objective is to accelerate the process of achieving a custom union by supporting the Ecowas Commission in improving the ETLS, implementing the CET, developing a common trade policy, harmonizing trade-related policies and statistical data, as well as disseminating trade-related information.
Il nous appuie dans le domaine du commerce. Et là aussi, c'est pour quand même contribuer à promouvoir le commerce d'abord intra-régional et donner une meilleure capacité de négociation, une meilleure capacité d'exploration et de conquête des marchés extérieurs.
When we talk about trade integration, it is not about full equality. It is about a way of having a system that is so joined up in a way that you can provide support to those who are not doing so well, and also have the ability to freely move your goods.
We work together with Ecowas in the area of trade and customs, and we are supported by the Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development in Germany and by the European Union.
We focus very much on training because that's something that we have the capacity, we have the expertise as well, and I think that this possibility of receiving specialized training in very technical issues that we have been speaking about, you know, customs nomenclature, trade facilitation procedures, risk assessment for import-export processes.
Then the customs, the regulators, they were able to arrange training programs for them. How? What does ETLS mean? How do you implement it? How do you enforce it? These are areas that were not there before.
In addition to providing technical and financial support to the Ecowas Commission, WATIP's activities include building capacity, sensitizing public and private stakeholders at member state level, and facilitating a participatory approach in Ecowas processes by involving the private sector, member state institutions, and civil society organizations.
So the member states themselves, the agencies, are they able to access, do they know about these regulations, do they know about these policies? I think that the information gap, you know, is definitely an issue.
We are trying to address these aspects to journalists, to parliamentarians in the member states of ECOWAS, to the business community as well as to the civil society.
As the ECOWAS region moves towards social, political and economic development and integration, the role of trade in improving the welfare of citizens is an integral part of this process.
If you have more trade in the region, somehow it will stimulate the economy in the member states of ECOWAS.
Trade is proven to be one of the most powerful sort of economic drivers. We know that it creates jobs, it creates economic growth and economic development.
Trade facilitation will play a key role in improving the trading environment and promoting economic growth across the region. To achieve this, the ECOWAS member states and the Commission need to work together in implementing policies at the regional and national levels.
Nous sommes connus, nous sommes acceptés et il y a des attentes par rapport à nous et il y a même des appréciations, une opinion publique si vous voulez. Par rapport à nous, certains trouvent que nous ne sommes pas bons, d'autres trouvent que nous sommes excellents, d'autres ont des attentes, ils attendent tout de nous, parfois avec erreur, d'autres à juste titre.
In the future, we will be investing in transport. That means the interconnection, road interconnections between ECOWAS member states, and also energy, another important shortcoming in West Africa.
And amongst the small traders, we also have a lot of women that are contributing a huge share to economic development. And those women, they face on a daily basis corruption, harassment at the borders. So trade facilitation will help them to overcome these obstacles.
Yeah, all we need is that will, that commitment, the willingness of the people to work hard to make this happen.